Good morning, everyone. Come on in. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in. But while we are waiting for our live viewers to join us, I would just like to also thank our replay viewers. Now, if you're wondering how you know whether or not you are a replay viewer, if you see a little red box up above my head that says live, then that means that you are joining us live. If not, then it means you're here for the replay. So thank you so much for coming in and checking us out. I hope that my lighting is okay everywhere. We might give a quick little turn here. That might work a little better. All right, look at that. I think we're better. Okay. All right. So as everyone's coming in, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you're here. All that kind of good stuff. Would love to be able to see you and chat with you. And then also those of you who are joining us on YouTube, thanks so much for checking us out. And don't forget, if you are a Premier Designs jeweler, you can come on over to the Buffy's Toolbox group on Facebook and request to join. And once I'm able to verify that you are in fact a jeweler, I would be happy to add you to that group. And then you can be a part of our live interaction. So hello. We see some people starting to pop in. So today is Monday after we just lost an hour of sleep. How's everyone doing with that? Are we doing okay? I'm telling you, today was a little slow moving for me this morning. Good morning. And I'm having to pull my sleeves up all of a sudden, because I think because it's so stinking cold outside, my heat is kicking on in a major way. Good morning, Francine. Yes, I'm telling you, this loss of an hour, it is a loss of an hour. I know it stinks, but I cannot even tell you how happy I am that we have later sunsets now, because that gives me a little bit more time throughout the day to be able to do the things that I need to do. Does that make sense? All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So today, here's what I want to challenge you with for this upcoming week, okay? How many of you, in looking at, I want you to think about the weeks past, okay? Think about your past weeks and think about the amount of time that you have devoted to your Premier Designs business, doing business building activities, okay? So not business maintaining, not just thank you, Francine, you're so sweet. I watched you this morning too. You look gorgeous as always. So I want you to think about the amount of time that you have spent on your business in the past several weeks, okay? Think about the amount of time that was truly devoted to business building activities, not business maintaining, not filing and organizing your office, not, doing inventory of your gifts that you might need to replace or things like that. I'm talking about business building activities. So that's going to be meeting people, reaching out to people. Yes, Francine, you know where I'm going with this, don't you? Okay. So here's the thing. How many of you, okay, and just thinking about that for a moment, I want you to put a 1 in the box if you feel like you were consistent with your time spent on business building activities over the course of the last several weeks, and you are, you're proud of the amount of time that you have devoted to your business over the last several weeks for those business building activities. If you can say yes to both of those things, that yes, you've done it consistently, and yes, you are proud of the amount of time that you have spent on business building activities in your business over the last several weeks, would you put a 1 in the box? If as you were thinking about that, you're going, not so sure if I've done any business building activities over the course of the last couple weeks, or it's been real kind of sporadic, it's been a little bit here, a little bit there, and that kind of thing. If that was where your mind went, I want you to put a 2 in the box, okay? And this isn't for the purpose of calling you out, but it's for the purpose of you being able to recognize, are you either 1, doing what you know you should be doing and doing it consistently and being proud of the number of hours that you have put into your business over the past several weeks? Or is it 2, which is you're looking at things going, not so sure that I have done what I should have been doing over the course of the last several weeks. Haven't really focused that much. Life has kind of gotten in the way. I'm not really sure. Like, I don't even know that I can measure it, like, because it's just that sporadic. Like, okay. All right. So it looks like we have a lot more 2s, and we got a 1.5 there. Okay. So here's the thing. I want you to think about your business in terms of, it doesn't really have anything to do with the length of time that you have been in the business. Again, by show of 1 in the box, how many of you all have seen somebody come into the business and they are just like rocking and rolling like right off the bat, and you're going, no fair. I've been here for like 2 or 3 years and I haven't even seen that kind of success, and they come in and do it right off the bat in 6 months. Okay. Anybody ever felt that way? And it's okay to feel that way. It's just not okay to go say it to them, right? Okay. That tends to happen. We can't always have control of our thoughts. So I can tell you there have been times where thoughts like that crept into my mind, because again, we all know that's the enemy trying to come at us and trying to make us feel inferior and all that kind of good stuff. But nonetheless, I mean, like, it still happened. Okay. That mindset still happened of, really, like, I've been in this business for almost 10 years and someone else has come in and done something in a matter of 5 years that I didn't even think I could do in the 10 years. Okay. So kind of things like that. But here's the thing. I have no way of knowing how many hours that person has logged in their business doing business building activities. They may have done more hours than I have. If I were to look at my list of duties throughout the week, okay, and I have not logged a certain number of hours for that week doing business building activities, and they happen to be the same number of hours that so-and-so did, okay, that would be a different story. But here's the thing. I may have been in for 10 years and I might have only worked it half as much as that person did who got it in 5 years. Does that make sense to y'all? So think about it in terms of, y'all might have noticed that Francine put a little emoji of a plane there, okay? And here's where that comes from. How many of you, if you were going to be getting on let's talk about, like, if you were going to be getting on kind of like one of those little prop engine, airplanes that are just like these little itty bitty things, do you care how long that pilot has had an interest in planes, how long he has worked around planes, how long he has wanted to do things like that? Or do you care about how many hours of actual flight time he has logged to know whether or not you feel safe and secure in putting your life in his hands? Okay. Chances are you want to know the number of hours logged of actually doing activity that would be directly related to him taking you up into that airplane, right? Okay. So you want to look at it in that sense, even with your business, because truly the biggest business building activity that you can do in this business is one of 2 things. That is, show the jewelry and share the marketing plan. If you have not done either one of those 2 things within the last couple of weeks, or if you don't have scheduled times to do those 2 things this coming week, then you might have some work to do. Okay? Because here's the thing. Truly working the business, as in showing the jewelry and sharing the marketing plan, those are your flight time hours to be able to be logging. Okay? Not just fiddling around in your office. Listen, it took me a little while when I first started this business, because for those of you who don't know, I was truly an introvert. Okay? I was one of those people that if I knew you, we were going to like have a good time. We were going to laugh. We were going to carry on. I was going to be goofy and everything else. But if I didn't know you, or if I was in if I walked into a party that was happening, I was truly the person who kind of went and hid in the corner and just kind of scanned the room looking for the one person that I might know. And then I would kind of, hi, can you come over? Hi, type thing. I was not the one who like bounced around from person to person and, hey, what's up? And that was not me. Okay. So when I first came into this business, I had a hard time with the fact that I wasn't going to meet anybody new within the four walls of my home, which meant I had to leave the house, which was really scary for me at that time. Okay. A lot of people also don't know. Of course, if you followed my story at all, you probably do. But I was also someone who was dealing with a little bit of depression when I first came into Premier. I didn't want to be around people. So the idea that in order for me to make this business work meant that I had to go be face to face with people, and I had to go like outside of my house to go do these things, that scared the daylights out of me. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that, okay? It scared me to death. But here's the thing. You are not going to meet anybody new within the four walls of your home. And if you do, you're probably calling the cops. You're not like trying to show them some jewelry and trying to offer them a business opportunity, because chances are they're not supposed to be there. Okay? So you have to share an amen, right? Amen, okay? So, but here's the thing. It's because what do I want to say? I surrendered myself to the idea that I had to give it to God, and I had to allow him to work in me. I had to allow him to get me through those times of being 100% totally outside of my comfort zone. Okay. So it wasn't until I did that things started changing. Okay. Francine says, God can use Premier to pull us out of our comfort zone and begin a healing process we were looking for. Amen. Amen. Because I'm telling you, if it were not for Premier, I would not be the person I am today. I wouldn't be. If it wasn't for what God has done with me through Premier, and what Premier specifically has done for me in terms of being around all these people, I'm telling you. All right, so Jenny says, this weekend I was scanning everything to find mommy and me groups to take my 2-year-old to during the week while Big Brother is at school. Now it's going to snow. Well, but here's the thing, Jenny. You've already started the proper things to do, because here's another little funny thing. Do you know that mommy and me groups were the first way that I stepped out of my box here in Delaware? Okay. But here's the funny thing. My kids would have been 6 and 8 and were in school full time, which means I was going to mommy and me groups by myself. I didn't even have small children to go to these groups with, but I was welcomed in anyway, because the one girl who kind of like, was kind of like the head of it, she was like a acquaintance that I had here in Delaware through a weight loss program online that I met her originally that way. And then it was kind of like, girl, I'm like, I am just like at such a loss. I don't know anybody here, blah, blah, blah. She's like, girl, you ought to join our mommy and me group. I'm like, my kids are 6 and 8. Like, they're in school full time. Y'all got like littles, like you've got like toddlers and babies, like infants, or currently pregnant. Like, I don't know that I kind of fit in there. And she's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that was how I first branched out here in Delaware. But I'm telling you, you have to be willing to go do those things, even if they seem really uncomfortable. And even if it seems like this is kind of ridiculous. Okay. Many of you might even know the story of Randy and Elizabeth, where, listen, they had to do something because Randy's business had like crashed because of the stock market crash. Okay. So they had to do something. So what does he do? He signs her up for tennis lessons in Texas in the middle of the summer. And says, hey, hon, I got a great way for you to go meet some new people. I've just signed you up for tennis lessons. All right. So here's the thing. You got to be willing to get out there and do things. You got to be willing to get out there and network. You have to be willing to go have that people time, that face-to-face time. And if you can't have that face-to-face time, okay, let's say you have people that you can reach out to that don't live near you, okay, even reaching out to them via phone, text. And here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you only the phone works, because y'all, there are a lot of people who refuse to answer their phones. It's just that is just the way that society has become. Most people will not pick up their phone when it rings, but they will respond to a text within like seconds of that coming through. Okay. So it's not just the phone. You have to know your customer. You have to know your people. Okay. So you have to know what is going to be right for them. Millennials, forget it. If it's not text or through social media, they're never going to see it. Okay. It is not, I know, right, Jenny? Okay. It is, you are not going to be able to call a millennial. You are not going to be able to email a millennial. You need to reach out to them via text or social media. Otherwise, they will never even know that you exist. Okay. So you have to know your people. On the flip side, those who are more seasoned in their years, you're probably going to have a better chance of getting them on the phone versus email or social media or text. Okay. So you got to kind of know that. But here's the thing. The biggest thing is looking at what it is that you are doing throughout the course of your weeks. Are you having face-to-face time, one-on-one people time to offer your services as a jewelry lady, to show the jewelry, to share the marketing plan? And if you are not doing those things each week, then you're not doing business building activities. Okay. Rachel says you have to text them to tell them you are calling them or emailing them. Exactly. Okay. So you truly have to know your people. You got to know your customers. All right. And if you don't, look, try one. And if that doesn't work, if they don't get back to you, try a different method. If they don't get back to you on that, try a different method. All right. And keep trying until eventually you're able to reach out to them some way, somehow. All right. And then once you find the one that works for them, here's a great tip. Okay. Once you finally get a hold of them, you can even ask them, I know that I tried you through different, through a few different methods. Which one do you prefer me use? Which one would typically work best for you? Okay. So, but the biggest thing is you have to make sure that you're having those business building activities, because here's the thing. You could be in this business for 4 years and not have the same experience as somebody who has only been in the business for 2 months. Do you realize that? Okay. Do you realize that? And I want you to really think about that for a moment, but that's also why you should never compare yourself to other people, because you have no idea behind closed doors how much they're working that business. You just see oh, they literally just came in 6 months ago and they're already, being given builder or designer or whatever. How in the world did they do that? Well, here's an idea. Go ask them. And then try the suggestions that they give you. Okay. But it's not to sit back and worry about well, this must not be for me. Well, no, it might just mean that you need to work on some business building activities instead of just maintaining the business that you already have. Okay. So that's what I would like to see you guys do over the course of the next week. Just out of curiosity, over the course of the next week, I want you to really think about the activities that you're doing all this week. And are they business building or are they maintaining? And I want you to only log the hours of business building. And if you find at the end of the week that you hardly have any time logged under business building activities, then you might need to change some things. You might need to rework your weeks. Okay. Because again, you need that flight time. You need that, those hours logged of actually showing the jewelry, sharing the marketing plan, and, having that person-to-person contact with people to start building relationships. Those are the business building activities. As is training. So make sure you're going to your trainings. You all know that trainings are considered business building activities. They are not business maintaining. They're business building. So make sure that you are attending whatever trainings you can possibly get to. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself with some like-minded people, okay? But actually log those hours this week and really take a look at what it is that you're doing, because you might look at it and be like, you know what? I don't know that I've had any time, okay? Even those of you who originally said 1 or 1.5, even just look back at your week last week and ask yourself, how much time was that actually on business building? How much time did I actually spend there? And then vow to yourself that maybe this week or the next week that you're going to do your best to increase that time each week that you're spending on those business building activities. And my guess is if you start focusing on that and you start making a conscious effort to make sure that you're logging hours of business building activities, you're going to see a difference in your business. You're going to see a difference in the number of shows you have on your calendar. You're going to see a difference in the number of new contacts that you are adding to your pipeline. You're going to see a difference in the number of people that are suddenly seeming interested in the business opportunity. As you start doing those things and you start coming in contact with new people, which means we have to leave our house. Okay, we might have to get involved in some networking groups, or we might have to get involved in some mommy and me groups, or find, something that you're interested in. Even if it's, I don't know, if you're interested in art, go take an art class. Either way, you're getting yourself around new people that you have an opportunity to go meet. Okay, and that is going to help you if you're kind of looking at your current number of people in the pipeline, and you might be going, I don't have anybody in that pipeline. Okay, then you need to get outside of your house and go meet some people, whether it's through an activity or whether it's just through doing your daily errands and your chores and your whatever. Like, go meet your neighbors, go like whatever. Okay, go do things to meet more people, and then log those hours and try to improve on that each week and really kind of look at it. And then I would love to hear from you guys this time next week. I want to hear from you guys how that went. Like, how did it go? Really making an effort and really focusing on those business building activities. How do you feel you did then with the number of hours that you would have logged? So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. Francine, thank you. Thank you. I so appreciate that. That's what I have for y'all. So I'm going to let you guys go. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. That's our Tips and Tricks Tuesday. So I will be sharing something with you. I'm not very sure just yet what, because I am actually going to be traveling to Warminster, Pennsylvania tonight for a training. So pray for some safe travels for us, please. As of now, the snow is not expected to be heavy in our area. So even though it's supposed to start around like 8 o'clock in our area, and we're heading about an hour and 50 minutes north, it's not supposed to start up there until around 11. So we're hoping that as we come down through, it'll be okay. So just pray for some safe travels. Jenny says, I do all kinds of stuff and feel like nobody is paying attention. Then out of nowhere, then I start getting people engaging. You must do, yes, you must do, and then the results will come. Amen. But you can't, listen, people expect results from work they didn't do. We need to stop that. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to get skinny by just looking at a piece of exercise equipment. All right. I have to get up off my butt and go use it if I want to change that. All right. So one of the biggest things that I want to point out is everything that I shared with you today, for the most part, it all comes from the book, Dare to Dream, Work to Win by Dr. Tom Barrett. So if you have not yet read that book, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so it is a phenomenal book, but there's just so many like little like nuggets of info there. So there's some more that I'm going to be sharing with you guys on Wednesday for my Wisdom Wednesday. So we will be back for that as well. But yes, tomorrow's Tips and Tricks Tuesday. So make sure you come back to join us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Look forward to seeing y'all. Thanks again so much for being here. Truly, y'all could have spent your morning anywhere, and you chose to spend it here with me. So thank you so very much for that. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Love y'all.